You see any of those fights this weekend?
Come on, you know better than that.
Not even the UFC?
Can't do it, baby. Can't do it. Just give me the heavyweights. And I don't mean all fighting either. I'm out.
Welcome to the First 40 sports show with the Goon Squad, Black Thor, Icewater, and Puma. Usually we start out with topics, but I'm going to go to questions from the squad because sometimes we don't get to that. So like, share, comment, subscribe on our channel. This is the Goon Squad. We're going on almost 8-9 years doing this on podcast and on video. So I'm going to go to the headmaster of the Goon Squad, Black Thor. Black Thor, what's your question, man? And we're gonna just let it out this particular episode. I don't care if it's
man, I let it out all the times, baby. Yeah. So you know me. Sometimes I might let it out too much. I don't pull back. I do have a question though, because I was kind of surprised that the backlash that Aaron Rodgers took, but really kind of surprised by the backlash he took from black commentators. Because usually sometimes they toe the line and kind of just move along. So am I only one feeling that a little bit? Because it seemed like the black commentators, and I'm not going to say this guy specifically, because he always come out straight, but Shannon Sharpe was animated. Yeah, and I love what he said. But he's the only one that took it to the point where he showed the civil rights thing. Other people kind of like danced around with it, but at the same time, I saw Tony Dungy, some other people kind of basically said, we're not letting you get away with this. That surprised me. Shannon, no, because Shannon's always there. And I'm grateful that Skip brought Shannon in and allowed Shannon to do what he does. He goes out, he goes there. And it's amazing to think that he's on Fox, of all places, Fox. And he can basically say what he wants to say. But besides him, I was surprised at some others that kind of stood up and said, yes, what the hell's going on here?
Icewater, I know the surprise for me was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And he was hitting them at home and comparing it to the Colin Kaepernick thing too. But who were your surprises?
Well, I mean, when you say surprised, I don't know if I'm surprised anymore. I mean, because it's opened the door. This Black Lives Matter, the George Floyd killing, and Abe Arbery, the young man that passed away, was killed as well. We have dealt with so much that I think that I don't know what they were thinking about before, but some of these commentators and some of these athletes like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, I think it may be overwhelming. And finally, it's like they might be fed up because Jabbar, even though he would say certain things, he's always in the background on most things. And maybe he has an opportunity, he feels like he can say it. So to get back to the point, I think what Aaron Rodgers alluding to, enough is enough, man. I mean, granted, you are an all-star quarterback, everybody love you and you at the top of your game, but you cannot continue to use because you messed up or you didn't tell the truth about something, you can't compare it to civil rights or something that you think is your right to do something because of what Martin Luther King did. No, that wasn't based on that. You was gonna have those rights anyway. So my point of it is why they came after you, because there are people who are tired of you sliding into things and saying it's okay now, like you part of I'm doing it because of the movement, when truth be told, your ass just didn't want to get a shot. I mean, quit playing with it. Quit playing with it. It is a right. You have the right to do what you want to do because what people have done it, but do not belittle such a damn accomplishment and the pain and the suffering and the lynchings and the all kind of shit behind that. Do not belittle it because you feel in some kind of way because people coming after you. That's my biggest problem with it. So I'm a little surprised by the people, but I'm not surprised by some people finally coming and telling me, you jumped out, you barking up the wrong tree, bro. You need to go another way because what you're doing now is totally off the rip. You're not supposed to do that. You can't use something because you feel comfortable. Well, yeah, like Martin Luther King. Nah, hell nah. What? Get a shot. You just mad because people coming for you.
Yeah, I love it. I saw what Shannon Sharpe did. I sent you guys the articles with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He's been on a number of news outlets talking about this and comparing it to what Colin Kaepernick went through and was blackballed from the league. And he didn't hurt anybody. He didn't hurt anybody. He just took a knee, a peaceful protest. That's it. Here, you got a guy who's putting other people at risk. And you listening to Joe Rogan. I don't care if you sent 500 or 5 million pages to the NFL. or read that many pages. You are taking a advice from a comedian slash MMA commentator who didn't go to school to study this, who didn't go to school to research all this stuff. And you're going to try to put that up against that. This is what I'm standing on. You look like a fucking fool, Aaron Rodgers. You look like a fucking, I wanted to punch you in the head for bringing up Martin Luther King and putting that out your mouth. But it just proves when certain people are cornered, they will use their privilege to get out of it. So I'm proud of Shannon Sharp coming out and say that. He may not have a job for long, but at least he stood on his principles. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, kudos to you because you stood on your principles. And there were people who were putting in the comments about, certain negative things about the comment, but he called it like he saw it. And Aaron Rodgers, instead of saying, I'm sorry, you're still using different words like if I misled people, think you lied, apologized, and you got tapped on the hand, $15,000 for a fine. Whoop-de-fucking-do. Whoop-de-fucking-do. Your team got, penalized, I think, was it 300,000? Okay, that money could have gone to somewhere else to help somebody else or gone to your salary because they were begging you to stay there. But I was rooting so hard for Jordan Love on Sunday so we wouldn't have to see Aaron Rodgers. If you don't want to play, if you don't want to be in the limelight, go away. Go away, but don't mislead people. People, and you still got, dumbass cheeseheads who are backing him. Oh, he did this, he had a right to do that. You missed the whole principle of it. He put people at risk. And he not only lied, but it looks like a fool because you caught the thing that you said you couldn't catch or that you thought you prepared for using dewormer. So I'm glad that the Black commentators came out and called it out and put him on the spot. Now, I don't know what they're going to do or the NFL is going to do afterwards, but I'm not even going to mention his name anymore on this show because that's how disgusted I was for him even thinking of that I can put Martin Luther King in a sentence and justify what I did. I mean, if anybody I want to punch in the head, Black, is that dude right there.
I'm going to take you back a few months ago, actually about a year ago. Remember when Drew Brees came out and said what he said and some of the Black players? Well, I know Drew Brees. I'm glad it didn't happen with Aaron Rodgers. I'm just glad that no one came to his rescue and stood by him like, I'll stand shoulder to shoulder with him. And I was surprised. I'm happy to see Kareem Abdul-Jabbar come out and say something. I wish Kareem Abdul-Jabbar would have been what he is now 30 years ago, bro. I just wish that brother was. He was. Yeah. You know what I mean? Instead of trying to act like, when you change your name, you change your name for a reason. You have history behind why you change your name, but you never came out and just let it know. So now you are, doing what you could have done 30 years ago. Imagine how his life, things could have been different for him. In a sense, if he just would have took a stand and not decided. So I was happy to see it. Trust me, Shannon Sharp ain't going nowhere, bro. Those ratings over there is doing well. He just signed a new contract. So he ain't going there. And if he does leave, trust me, he would not be out of, they fire him, he would not be out of job for a period of time. But I'm happy to see, and like I said, it's probably for some things that happened in the past, but it's time for Black men anywhere. You're a Black man first for any job that you hold, bro. You're a Black man first. And if they can't respect you for being that, maybe you shouldn't be working there. I don't care what they're paying you. Stephen A. Smith.
Woo, hot take. Ice, what's your question, man?
Yeah, my question is, what do you think about, we got the allegations about the Phoenix Suns owner, Robert Sarver, about racism and sexism allegations. What do you think about that? But most importantly, apparently his wife went back to a couple people that were former employees and telling them that they're destroying their lives by saying these comments. One of the main people that she went after was a former player, and I think he worked in the front office, was Earl Watson, the former basketball player.
He was the coach too.
He was talking about he was what he was saying about things that he went through or what was happening really was going against her family, and they're catching hell for it, and he should take that back. What do you guys think about those subjects?
Black, take the wheel, baby.
I'm amazed, man. If his wife is out there. When I first came to this story, I remember I saw the story 2 weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago, when he came out and tried to get in front of it, and he was appalled and saying that none of it's true. It's like a witch hunt. I said, okay, let's see what happens. Now, I have yet to kind of read anything that kind of specifically said what he done. I haven't seen that yet. I just kind of hear the things that he's being basically accused of. Now, when you tell me, as Ice just said, this is what I love about the show, bro. That right there, to me, that name Goon Squad stands for something, bro. Because this is what we do. We drop out things and put things out that other people are afraid to say and speak on. That's our highlight. It's what we do here. But hearing that, if you send your wife, you're a coward, bro. If you send your wife to go to people that are basically on record that already said what they believe to be true and know to be true, and you send your wife out there to cry because it's changing your life, who cares about your life? I mean, that's just said, there is no remorse or understanding of who you are, what your husband is, what's been going on. You talk about privilege. I mean, realistically. And the funny thing about white people in this country, not all, but I'm just going to use some. They don't realize the equator has turned. It's turned. And it's like the cover is being pulled off of you. Stuff that you've been saying out your mouth crazy for a while, it's coming back to haunt you, baby. It's coming back home. The roosters are coming home to roost. So absolutely, no, he done said it. Do you think about what he might experience when your husband is acting a fool? No, not at all. So realistically, let it stand for itself. And if any of this is true, the NBA got treated the same way they treat the owner of the LA Clippers. He's got to go. Yep. He's got to go. There's no question about it. He's got to go. I don't care. I felt sorry for Monty Williams because Monty Williams did a press conference and asked him about a couple, and you could tell the brother's conflicted. How do I take a paycheck from a man that feels this way? You know, he may not have experienced it, but how am I taking this money from this fool? So it's ironic. I just think right now, and I'm not going to blame anyone for in the past, Earl Watson Jr., I would hope you had said something a while ago, but there's no way currently, this day forward, or in the past, that you're working on at these spots and things are going incorrectly, keeping your mouth shut. Like I said earlier, you're a black man or a black woman first, and you're working at a place that doesn't respect that. What are you doing there? What are you doing there? You can go work somewhere else. I mean, you really, I'll say this real quick and I'll get away from this. I remember years ago, I lived in South Carolina. And I went to this job headhunter to find me a job. And I love what this guy said to me. He's white, sitting at this, I'm sitting across from him. He said, there are going to be some places you walk in, they're not going to hire you. No matter what you say, no matter what you do. He's right. And this is what he said that was more profound to me. You don't want to work there anyway. Hello. So my point is this. If you're sitting around taking a paycheck from a buffoon, that's saying things that you know ain't right, come on, bro. Come on, sis. We're better than that. You're better than that. Wake up. I don't care how you got to do. Wake up. A paycheck doesn't mean that you need to be denigrated, talked down to. Know that a person that's paying you don't give a freak about your people. Understand about your people. You need to put that person on blast immediately and find yourself another job. I don't give a damn. You got to work at the post office.
Yeah. I think what she's attempting to do is to save their standard of living. Trying to save his job, trying to, go to appeal to all the folks that he offended and all this other stuff. She has a standard of living she wants to keep and knows she can't keep it if he gets fired or gets released or the NBA takes that franchise. That's all she's doing. She doesn't really care about how many people he hurt, how many people were affected by this. It gets to that point where it's like, oh, okay, yeah, this happened, but I just want to protect what we feel that's ours. And that, I think you're right, Black. He is a coward for not stepping up and saying, you know what, I did this stuff, this, that, the other, do the PR thing. I'm going to get some counseling, do some diversity training, all that bullshit that they try to do, do all that. But to send your wife out there, and we haven't heard from his wife. I don't even know he had a wife. All of a sudden this, the shit hits the fan. Now I'm going to have my wife speak on my behalf. No, the covers are taken off and you got to take your medicine. You got to take your medicine. Ice?
Yeah, I mean, my biggest thing was the factor that the wife is out there trying to go after these people that already made these statements, as was stated earlier. But the other part of it, when I look at it, is you got to let this run its course, right? What if your husband literally did do some of this stuff? What if he really is guilty? I mean, normally you would defend your husband, right? But what if you are totally wrong? What if he did do some horrific things and then you out there? Maybe you just don't give a damn. That's what I'm looking at too. Because I'm thinking about if I was Earl Watson, I'm like, what are you talking about? Get away from me. You know what I'm saying? Get away from me, because you're talking about protecting your family. What about these other people, right? What about their rights? What if he's wrong? But is that what, because you're privileged, you feel you can say whatever and everybody's just supposed to bow down because you on a basketball team? You gotta do better than that. We're in a different time. People don't care. I mean, and the new generation is telling you they don't give a damn. You know, they literally convicted a police officer, right? What you thought you saw, somebody finally said, yeah, we saw it too. And it's wrong. So we live in that kind of time, young people, much love. But so you just can't come out here thinking that your cloud or whatever you're doing is going to get you over, and you can just say and do what the hell you want to without consequences.
Yeah. All right, Black, you got another one, man?
Woo. Yeah, this one's going to take me, to me, it's more comical than anything else. And I know we may not want to touch on this, but how did you feel when Ben Simmons weren't reporting to the medical doctors for Philadelphia 76ers? And then when they docked his paycheck, $37,000, he showed up and started.
What now?
He was basically, when he came out and said he had mental health issues, they said, okay, you have to talk to our doctors, our therapists, you know, and tell them what your problems are. He wasn't showing up. So they sent him a letter basically saying to him, you know, you're not going to our doctors. He said, no, I'm going to my own. Well, either you come to ours or there's going to be a problem. So he didn't go to their doctors. Now they docked him a paycheck of $325,000. All of a sudden, guess what? He's going to their doctors.
I already know what Ice gonna say. So Ice, take it.
Hey, you know what? You know, people have expenses, and you might think you rich or you wealthy, but we know what that's like when you don't have your coverage or whatever your coverage is. But ask Dennis Rodman. You know, everybody used to say how bad Dennis Rodman was, a bad boy with the Pistons. He went down to San Antonio. They basically said he was the demon, he was the devil, can't control him or anything like that too. Then Jordan said, well, no, let's sing with the Bulls because he can help us. We need a rebound to help us win the championship. And he started wilding out. He going out to these crazy parties like he does. And then all of a sudden, they're like, well, Phil, how you going to handle it? Phil was like, allegedly, hold on, man. Look, I ain't gonna worry about that shit. You know what I'm saying? Here's what we're gonna do. You can be wild as you want to. Well, when you come back, they had a basket for that dude, man. And they just said, just drop the check in there, bro. Every time. So after a while, he was like, it's killing me. I got child support, I'm alimony, whatever else was going on, Cobra. He had a lot of shit going on for other people.
Cobra.
Right. I mean, he got a lot of stuff going on for other people. And he was like, damn, I can't go out as much as I want to because them checks is killing me. Ben Simmons, same exact situation. Everybody feeling real good. 325, right? I know he got a nice salary and all, but I'm telling you, if he came in after they hit him for 325, he probably taking care of about 10 people. And people calling him away. Man, they cut my cable off. What the hell? Man, they repossessed my car. Grandmama, stepmama, stepdaddy, everybody calling Uncle Bon calling you. We're just blowing you up. You like, damn, baby need pampers, and you overextended on your cash that you're bringing in. That 325 hit you like, well, you shouldn't have to worry about it. Well, if you overextending on what you're spending because you living like that, yeah, that 325 might make a difference. So I want to say that Cobra thing, but it might be for somebody else he taking care of. I'm just saying.
Man, Dave Chappelle should do another episode when keeping it real goes wrong. He was trying to keep it real and all this other stuff. And they hit him for that 325. It's like, oh, they serious. They for real.
Yeah, here you go, real quick. That's before Black Thor jumping in like, what time is my appointment?
I can't imagine making that much money and then I don't care how much money I make. You hit me for 325, you're gonna have my attention. So yeah, they got his attention. I'm going to my own doctor. He just wasn't playing, man, thinking that they're gonna have to pay me anyway. And they're gonna no. We got a program here that you can go to that's already set up. You got to pay attention to the details, brothers. You got to pay attention to the details. When you decide you want to go off rail, They got things planned for you, and they got things in their policy that this is not their first rodeo with players like this or situations like this. So yeah, you just got a wake up call for 325, and there's some bills not being paid, all this other stuff. I can't even go past what Ice was saying. Ice hit it right on the nail. But Black, you take it from here. It got real quick for them.
You need to know where you are and what you're up against at all times. I remember years ago, I said to my union steward, I said, I want a copy of our union book. He said, what copy of that for? He said, nothing's going on. No, because I want to know for myself. I just want to know for myself. I want to know for myself how far I could go, what I'm up against, what's going on. I wanted the parameters. And as you just spoke, he didn't understand the parameters. He thought he could just say, I got mental health issues. They're going to leave me alone. I'll go about my business. I ain't got nothing else to do. I don't have to come in here. I can just go loose. I won't play. They won't trade me. It doesn't work that way, son. It just doesn't. And I'm going to say this right now. If you've been making, and I know 325 is a lot, don't get me wrong, but you've been in the league for this long, and the money you've been making, 325 should not hurt you, bro. I'm be honest. Which says to me,
it hurt me, and I ain't even making it.
I'm going to say this right now. Which says to me, that brother financially is in trouble. Because you should have been, I'll give you an example. Look at Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving ain't said nothing. Kyrie Irving missed how many paychecks? 12? 14 maybe? Kyrie Irving hasn't opened his mouth. They popped 325 from you, and you come running? Dude, that brother's in trouble financially.
I agree with that 100%. And to back that up is, we say 325. You mentioned that it shouldn't bother you. But we know if you mismanaging funds, bro, and you're taking care of 12 people and everybody living La Vida Loca and they ain't even worrying about it because you got it covered. After a while, I ain't the smartest dude in the world, but you get 12 million. Then every time you see something, keep coming down. You're like, damn, I had 12 million. Now I'm down to 2.5. What the hell happened? And people getting their nails done, acrylic nails, and buying fur coats, living La Vida Loca, bro, off you. Yeah, that 325 come to, the mama want a new car, mama want a brand new house, then you got to buy grandmama, man, dude. Hey, I feel it. So I recognize it. I think either Black Thor said he's in financial straits or financial trouble right now, or somebody living beyond their means, bro. And you hanging out with the Kardashians? I don't know, bro.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
They mess up more brothers than child support. I'm telling you, they mess up some brothers. Ice, your next question, man.
Yeah, my next question is, I saw something where we're talking, I think I was talking to my brother about the NCAA basketball. We know that we got the G League and stuff like that. And some kids are going to the other leagues instead of going to college, right? But now with the new licensing coming in, the NCAA, whatever, we see a lot of kids, that kind of opened the door for college again. Because now kids are like, well, hell, I'm going to play football. I'm going to go play basketball because I can go get my cars. You can do whatever you got now. So they kind of like, while the G League and all these other leagues started opening the door with these cash payments, right? Now the NCAA, not so much that, but college sports is like, they're going to open a door for them to receive some of those athletes back that may have left early, because now you can get all your cash and play ball. You can leave high school early and get your money and get your endorsements, because now it's set up that way. I thought that was very interesting, like tit for tat. What do you guys think about that?
Black?
Without a doubt, man. It's funny how the NCAA fought it, and to the court said, basically, you got to. Now they're like, oh, we wanted this all along. Harmony. This is all we ever wanted. This is all we wanted for the kids to pay them. Because you're right. They look and saw these other players leaving, and they were smart. NCAA was smart to realize once the court said it, stop fighting. Welcome it, because if you want the best talent, you got to offer up the better amenities, bro. That's what it comes down to. You got to allow them to make them feel like they're more privileged to be here than to be there. So what's going to happen now is with most young men and women of sports, they're going to look around and go, wait a minute. I can stay here and I can get, this is where I'm going to go. Even now, real quick, there's a new women's basketball league starting up to play, I think, in January of this year. So the ladies don't have to go cross country to play anymore and get money. They're starting to take a play right, and you say to yourself, why? Because they don't want them leaving anymore to go elsewhere and play. They want to keep their talent here and make more money off of them. And that's what that's all about. So they're saying, why go sleep in a foreign bed? You can stay here. And they're not even taking the top players. They're taking players that, maybe have been around for a while, it hasn't been spectacular, but they're looking at this right here, bro. And so, yes, sometimes when you're forced to bang your up against the wall, you go, wait a minute. I've been looking at this all wrong. Let me look at it differently, NCAA.
Yeah, I don't even know if they expected this to happen. They started seeing it happen and going, oh, okay, we're keeping the talent now because these folks are getting some incentive to stay in college. So I just saw that Paige from UConn just signed an agreement that's going to keep her in college for the next 4 years, and I guess some stocks and something like that. So yeah, I know the NCAA is like, you know what? Just like you said, Black, like, hey, what are we fighting for all these years? Why are we pushing this back? This is actually going to help us in the long run. What it is going to do, though, what ICE says it all the time, is some of those smaller schools who can't get that talent, who can't pay what other universities can pay and offer, it's going to hurt them. So that's going to be the residual effect. But the NCAA doesn't care about it. As long as the big schools are making the money, if they're making money, the NCAA is making money. If the NCAA is making money, they're happy. ICE?
Yeah, I mean, from that standpoint, like you said, the one of the lady UConn member, the UConn lady UConn players is out there getting her money. It's all over the point. Players getting everything that they need. And plus two, I mean, granted, there's nothing wrong with the G League or whatever, and that's fine and playing somewhere else. But when you're in college, you get the exposure, right? You're on TV. I mean, my brother told me the other day, he was like, well, imagine the money Zion Williamson could have made if he'd have, this been going on then. And I told him, I said, allegedly, don't worry about Zion. Zion got this. He was Zion will take care of it, dude. He would have got more. But the whole premise of it is now you get more exposure on TV and things of that nature. And when you become a marketing sensation, more exposure means more people buying your jersey. Now you get more money from your jersey sales, right? Yeah. So it's like, I mean, G League is cool with you. Ain't nobody gonna be watching you talking about, oh, you got a great endorsement deal on the G League. You're gonna be in school, all of those CBS March Madness, and here he is, Jalen Suggs. Hey guys, get your money, baby. That's what they doing now. I'm blown away by it. Only problem I would say I have with it a little bit is the fact that you mentioned some of the lesser talent players probably thought they was gonna get paid too. Ain't working like that, bro. There's always the cream line, the best talent, and some of the best talented players are really gonna be making their funds. There's some exceptions, but the real so-called talented players are the ones in the limelight are the one that's making the major deals.
Yeah.
I will say this though. I think at some point, it may take a little while, but some of these smaller schools, alumni is going to realize that we got to track some of these big name players.
Yeah.
But when that happens, there's going to be some side deals done. You're going to start seeing some big names going to these small schools. You're going to be like, why are they going there? Because some of the side deals they're going to be taken care of, it's going to be amazing. Because these alumni of these smaller schools that got deep pockets, they want that talent as well. They do. So it's going to, at some point, I'm not going to say it's going to balance out 50-50, but the scale is going to come up a little bit because these schools are going to want to see the same players come play for them. So it's going to balance out a little bit.
Real quick.
Can I throw one thing in there?
Go ahead.
I was going to say, Puma, I'm coming for you, brother. I'm going to put you on my task force at Wilberforce University. I know we just got a baseball team, but I think if we get the right people, we can get the right backers. We can build a larger basketball stadium arena, and we can get these kids to come to Wilberforce University, bro. It's wide open now. Why not?
Yeah.
Let's get some HBCUs love in there and get these kids over there and getting these top players and keeping them with the right mindset, good education, getting some good formal training and some love from our folks. And then we have one of the top Division I teams in the country, baby. Let's go, Puma.
I read that story, man. I'm like, you two are alums, ain't nowhere in the world. Somebody from Wilberforce should not be in this show soon, bro. Talking about that. Somebody should be up here, bro. Yeah. Somebody.
But here's what I'm thinking with that particular transaction. will it come to a point, and will the NCAA start to pull the plug when some of the professional teams start getting involved with kind of boosting some of these college teams?
I think you're thinking too far and too deep, bro.
Okay.
Hey, you're right. You say that. I'm gonna just say this. I'm gonna say one name, allegedly, Kansas. They the top 4 team, top 4 team in the country. They did everything they could. They checked them with a magnifying glass, checking them all different places, and where they at. Now, they looked pretty good last night. That's all I know. Look, they still playing.
You keep this in mind. MLB, what do they want more than anything else?
Yeah.
They want black players back in the game, bro. They want black faces watching their games, man. So don't think this is all by accident. Don't think for a second it's not by accident, because they want us back in the seats. They want us back watching us, and they want us back swinging the bat, bro.
Kudos to the Cincinnati Reds, man. Kudos. Let's go to college basketball, man. It started last night. And, of course, Gonzaga is ranked number 1. I think they were ranked number 1 last year, too. I think UCLA should be ranked number 1, to be honest. That's my personal choice for number 1. They bring everybody back. Followed by Kansas, Villanova, Texas. Michigan is playing now against University of Buffalo. They're number 6. Purdue, Baylor, Duke, and Kentucky. Duke looks pretty solid, but it's too early to kind of really kind of say that. And I'm not feeling the same way I did this year and I felt last year, the excitement about college basketball as far as the competitiveness. I guess it's real early in the season. I got to wait to see some more games. But I was really excited last year because I guess the year before, we didn't get to see some of the teams. Now we got to see Baylor and all those teams last year. But who's the team, man? It's going to be –
Tell the truth, baby. You ain't excited because you came in last, man.
That ain't it, baby. That ain't it. That ain't it.
Look at the show, bro.
I was happy.
Black Jay Miller. Don't come with that.
I was happy with the season, regardless of when I came in the tournament. I was happy to see that tournament. It was an exciting tournament. I just don't get that feeling that this year is going to be that exciting than last year.
Oh, what? Well, let me help you. Let me help you because I love this. Let me help you. I love you. You mentioned those names. Gonzaga has a top-notch recruit. The center looks pretty good with a lot of dog in him. Looked pretty good last night. UCLA, who you love, is bringing back everybody except maybe one person. I mentioned Kansas early. Kansas got a transfer from Arizona State and some other players. They look dynamite. Another team to watch out for is Imani Bates in Memphis. Memphis, man.
Yeah,
you thought Penny Hardaway had a squad before? Buckle up, baby. Villanova's right there too. And I could go all up and down. Michigan should be pretty good as well. But I'm gonna get you ready. I can talk about that all day. We can go down the numbers, but let's get ready. You're not excited? I'm about to get you excited. This weekend, Puma, strap up, bro. Villanova versus UCLA. Must see TV. Yeah. The other one too, Texas versus Gonzaga. With the new coach from Texas Tech, Beard, strap up, baby. You want to see some basketball? I'm throwing it out to you this weekend. You ain't got to wait. We ain't got to wait till Christmas Eve. You ain't wait till Thanksgiving. Go to the Bahamas, Atlanta's tournament right now. That's how they coming at you, baby. So you put your little other stuff on the side, get you a good cold drink, and get ready to get in front of the TV, and let's go.
Black Thor, take it away, my friend.
I'm gonna tell you something, man. You know me. It takes me a month to get into basketball. Maybe a month and a half. But listening to what he just said about the line this coming weekend, bro, I'm gonna be watching. I'm not gonna lie to you. Because I'm here to tell you. I'm here to tell you, man. I'm in because I remember last year, man. To me, last year, college basketball was so competitive.
Yeah.
The tournament, everything, even the season, the part I caught the players. I mean, Baylor was like kind of part of the season, it was dead. The tournament kicked in, it was like, are you kidding me? This was serious play, bro. So on the tournament alone last year, to me, the platform is set for the excitement. It's trending up like this way. So yeah, bro, I'm ready, man. Like you said, UCLA, they brought back the same team. I think Gonzaga's going to be, come on, man. Texas, come on, bro. I mean, how could you not? Wait a minute. You need to check your temperature, bro, because for years, if anything that you always been happy with was black college basketball, and you say you're not, I mean, whoever she is, bro, tell her to go away for
Hey, Black, you know what it is? Stein!
Yeah, I need to get my Stein. Maybe that's
back, baby. Forget October, November, December. Stein it away, bro, because I'm gonna tell you, speaking of which, I want to say this, man. We gotta keep Dick Vitale in our prayers. It came out about a week ago that he's facing, I believe, some form of cancer. So we want to basically keep him in our prayers. He's still working, but go Dickie. Yes, we're ready, man. Let's get this season going, baby.
All right. So yeah, I was looking at it last night, and I'm like, man, last year I was so excited, and I think it was because we missed the tournament the year before, and so I was just so ready. But this year I'm like, I can give it about a month or so to see who's who,
nah, bro,
and all that.
No.
So yeah, but yeah, I'm gonna check it out this weekend too. Thanks for taking me off the ledge again, Ice, again.
Third place. I wouldn't be excited either if I was in third place, bro.
I ain't even gonna mention the football picks this week, but we'll get to that later in the show. Let's talk about college football. And I just think the committee that puts the playoffs together like to just piss people off. Because how do you rank Michigan over Michigan State after Michigan beat Michigan State in the face-to-face? So they have in the playoffs in the rankings, Georgia, Alabama, Oregon, Ohio State gets in the playoffs, followed by Cincinnati, Michigan, Michigan State, Oklahoma, Notre Dame slides up one slot, Oklahoma State, and then Texas A&M moving up 3 slots. And I think they're going to have some games where they can kind of control somebody else's destiny if they can. Black, your thoughts and your eye test on college football this week.
I'm going to tell you something else, man. I don't think Alabama should have stayed at number 2. They had to fight. When I say fight, literally, to beat a broken down LSU team. They had really nothing to play for. They had to fight and scramble to win. I thought they should have kind of dropped down maybe 3 or 4, just my personal opinion. I do agree with you on Michigan with Michigan State. I looked at and I kind of scratched my head too, but I will say this though. I think Michigan is a better team than Michigan State. I know they lost to them. I'm not saying that's their theory behind it, but Michigan has, from this point forward, they got to prove it. They got some games coming up. If they could take down Ohio State, they deserve to move in. They deserve. Cincinnati's kind of sitting on the outside. They can kind of get. I think Georgia, man. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think Georgia and Alabama has to play. That's going to be a game, bro. Because even if Georgia lose, I think Georgia, if they lose closely, I think Georgia's going to stay in the top 4. Alabama, I'm thinking may fall. I don't think they should fall out. It's no way in the world they lose to Georgia if they play, and I believe they will, should stay in. But Oklahoma and Oregon, I think Oregon's a team. If they can just find a way just to kind of stabilize and kind of do that, they're going to be in there. I'm not sure if they're a strong team, but I think they're going to kind of hang out and be there. But yeah, Michigan, it's prime for them, bro. It's prime for them. They can basically take care of business from this point forward. They should make it in. I don't think they will. But when I think about this, what really kind of make me scratch my head, and I kind of feel sorry for, is Penn State. Because all along, man, we don't even talk about them anymore. They're out of the top 10, top 15.
They're like 23rd in the country now.
Yes. And it's like, it's sad because they had it going on. There was there at one point. They're not in the mix. And if we can, let's not even mention Notre Dame, because we don't want Notre Dame back in the top 4. I don't think they will. I don't think they'll make it in there, but I don't care if they beat Navy. I don't care if they beat the Air Force. I don't care if they beat Army, whatever it is. Keep Notre Dame away from the top 6. Just do me that favor, please. I don't want them nowhere near top 6, top 7. Keep them 7 and up, and we're all right.
Yeah. All right, give me your eye test, man, from college football.
Like you said, a lot of stuff was going on. LSU, man, I tell you what, I'm gonna give Coach O, you know what I'm saying? When you get them guys going, you're getting ready to go. You Alabama, we're gonna have to go over there while we get, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, the way that they play, you got to take your hat off of them. Everybody knows they're not playing for a lot, but they battled Alabama, and Alabama may be showing you that Alabama may not be as good as everybody wants them to be, but very close game. Purdue is like the giant killer, right?
Yeah.
Take down Michigan State, and they did what they did earlier, and then they got Ohio State coming up soon. So this is gonna be an opportunity for Purdue to change a lot of lives on the college football level. Cincinnati, though, you just have to wonder, for everybody that wants Cincinnati to be right there, the top 4 and whatnot, Cincinnati playing it close. Barely get by Tulsa 28-20. And for instance,
should have lost that game.
they have to be convincing. And right now they're winning, but they're not really convincing. And the committee just needs a little bit to get them out the way. And Texas A&M doing what they did against Auburn. I mean, that was impressive as well too. But I thought one other thing too, the game you want to watch coming up, you mentioned Penn State. Penn State plays Michigan this week, baby.
Yeah.
So yeah. So we're gonna find Black Thor that might take care of itself. So if Penn State can get up and play the way they did against Ohio State, you know, they're Jekyll and Hyde. They can get up again against Michigan. We might see some more changes as we go along as well.
Let's still go to the NBA, and I'm watching Steph Curry throw up 50 points, and it seems like the old Steph Curry. And I'm seeing them in the league in the Western Conference. I'm seeing that the Miami Heat, they're playing inspired basketball. I told you Chicago's going to be fun to watch. I don't know if they're going to kind of run the whole course of the whole season, but they're looking really good. What is Washington doing in the third spot?
I tried to tell you that. I told you. They mad.
Number 6. Starting out hot, baby, but come on, man. Starting out hot. They had the number 7, Toronto, number 8, Milwaukee. They're still kissing their rings. I don't know if they're there or not. But in the Western Conference, you got Golden State, Utah, Dallas. The Lakers have fallen to number 8. And it just seemed, I watched them, Ice, and it just seemed like the first game kind of told the tale what's going to be the Lakers. They're going to come out fired up for 3 quarters. In the fourth quarter, they can't hold on to lead. OKC beat them twice in the season, doing the same thing, same formula. And it just seems like Russell Westbrook hasn't really kind of really gotten that groove of being a Laker. And LeBron has been off the court.
Yeah, that's true. But I think part of it is, like I said before, coach is going to figure it out with the Lakers as to what their chemistry's like and then how you set them up. I know I said before, everybody is so hell-bent that Russell Westbrook has to start for the Lakers. I say he shouldn't start. I say he should come out the bench and just be the force behind that second team. Because you know what he wants to do. Everybody knows. You know, everybody watch basketball know what Russell Westbrook wants to do. He wants to score the ball. Now, you can say, oh, he wants to play nice. He wants to win a championship. He can win a championship by being the main dude on the second squad. And I think he'd rather play that way because he don't have to worry about answering or trying to, is LeBron feeling good right now? Is AD getting the ball enough? You got that dude bottled up, man. You're a Tasmanian devil. You got to release him. And with that being said, I think that's what you got to do. But Washington, I told you, men are mad on the Washington Wizards. I'm telling y'all that. Montrezl Harrell is averaging 18 points and 11 rebounds, bro. Off the bench. Dude is mad. Everybody mad. They're playing inspired basketball. I love it. You mentioned about Chicago. I love the way their chemistry is going too. And I'm going to drop this little tidbit. I really don't like to punch out when you up or down, but I know y'all been pumping them Knicks up a little bit and everything like that too. But y'all I'm gonna say it, Puma. You know I told you I was air. You let Ricky Rubio drop 37 on you with the damn Cleveland Cavaliers. You expect us to take you seriously? 37? Ricky Rubio, he ain't done that since 8th grade. Really?
You got me.
You got to take you seriously?
You got me.
Come on, man.
We did kick the Bulls behind. That's all.
Okay, I mean that's right, but damn, Ricky Rubio.
Yeah, that was bad. That was pretty bad. That was bad. I don't know how that happened. Black, your eye test, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna start with the Lakers and with just this little tip in. I was reading this the other day where the Lakers, their general manager wanted, what's the guy name? I think he plays in Sacramento. Buddy, the outside shooter.
Hill, yeah. They
wanted Buddy. And the deal was for Buddy. And LeBron squashed that and said, I wanted Westbrook. So Buddy is an outside shooter.
3-point shooter.
Yes. And you brought Westbrook in, and I know LeBron is regretting it. I don't care what he says, he's regretting it because you're seeing Westbrook up close what he does with every single team. He's a gunner, bro. He's always going to be a gunner. And you're right. They're going to play good for 3 quarters, and they have nothing else left in the tank after that. The Knicks, I only watched one game, maybe 2 games with the Knicks. One game I watched. To me, Knicks do The second game, I was impressed. The first game was too much one-on-one. I'll take it and go. The second game, they kind of passed the ball more. They came back, and I think they beat the 76ers. I was watching that. Speaking of 76ers, man, that's not a bad team, bro. They're young, without a B. They play the Milwaukee Bucks very tough, young team, and they're not bad. So I think these younger players that's getting a lot of playing time, doing one player not being there, and they're learning how to play. They're gonna be tough down the stretch. Are they ready to win the championship yet? Maybe not now, but they're gonna grow and get to it. They got a nice young nucleus of young players. Miami Heat, bro. Miami Heat is like, yes, this team. It's funny because it's hard not to look at the Miami Heat and not think of Pat Riley. This is a Pat Riley squad. Scrappy, hard-nosed, physical, get after you, play tough defense. Some nights, I think they got to take off because they get a little tired, but they're going to be tough to deal with when it comes down to it. And you're right about Milwaukee. Milwaukee is kind of basically trying to get it together. It's just at the White House recently. I think it's going to take them probably to half part of the season to realize, you know what, we are the champs and we got to play like it. But I think they'll get there. Will they win it again? I'm not sure. But I do think in the long run. I will say this about Golden State. I mean, I like Curry doing what he's doing, but to me, when Curry's got to score 50 for them to win, you're hurting the rest of the team, bro. And that may sound strange. They're winning some games, but you're going to need those other players throughout the year to step up and play. Because we all know Curry's not going to play a whole season, bro. He's not going to make it. He's going to, at some point, he's going to miss 20 to 30 games. It's just kind of the minimum what he gives you every single year. And when that happens, who's going to pick up the slack? Who's going to step in and pick up the slack? I saw Haslam come off the bench the other day for Miami Heat, and I'm like, damn, that brother's still playing?
Yeah, I thought he retired.
Huh?
I thought he retired.
No, he came off the bench. I'm like, damn, 20 years? You still out there playing?
Bro.
And let me just say this, man. In my opinion, the Joker should not have been suspended for a game.
No, he shouldn't.
Should not have been suspended, bro. That was a cheap shot by what's the name? And he did what anyone else should have done. I would have came up and tapped him in the face, then suspend me. For him to actually push him like that, and he acted when he fell on the ground. That was a sincere cheap shot done by Morris, bro. The league should have fined him and fined them both. If you're going to suspend one, you got to suspend both. Because even in the game itself, what's name was given a flagrant 2, and he still didn't get thrown out. He's still going to play next game? I don't get it, bro. I don't get that one at all.
Yeah, to me, that was old school basketball.
Yes.
You hit me, I retaliate. And, that's the way it was. You just can't take a cheap shot like that and not retaliate. That's in all sports. That's going to happen. It may be wrong. You get suspended. But we're kind of, as men, we're geared that way. You don't let somebody just punk you. And Djokovic was saying, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done it. But that's a knee-jerk reaction, man. I don't blame him at all.
No.
Also, give the same energy to Haskins that you gave to Vince Carter about being too old in the NBA Black. Give him the same energy. Same energy, bro.
I'm going to say this. Haslam came out with about a minute left to go in the game. He wasn't out there in the first quarter trying to act like he still had it, like Vince Carter was trying to do, baby. This is the difference. Haslam is there out of respect for what he's given to the Miami Heat. They basically, I guess he don't know what else to do with himself. So they kind of bring him in, make him feel good, like he's a part of the team. I don't even think he's giving them leadership at this point, bro. What can he say to them?
Yeah. He reminds me of this guy. We played in this basketball league here in Chicago, and one of the older guys on the team, he was like, yo, I know I ain't supposed to be on this team. Just give me 2 minutes to run. That's all I need each game, 2 minutes. We used to give him 2 minutes, and he was cool. They stuff his sneakers, got out there for 2 minutes, run around, and he was cool. I think we should go to our last second shot and get to our picks. So last second shot, Ice.
Yeah, my last second shot is I had time to think about this. I know we talked about Henry Ruggs III and the situation with that car crash and whatnot. And man, I went back and I literally watched that video somebody put out there, bruh. And first of all, I'm gonna say my prayers really go out to that family and even to Ruggs too, because the one thing I saw that was devastating and really even more bizarre and more just hurtful, man, was when this went down and afterwards, he was there with his girlfriend. She was trying to hold him and console him and hold him down. And they showed they kind of panned out where you saw a larger part of him laying on the ground with his girlfriend, and he looks down the street, bro. About 500 feet down the street is the car with the young lady inside burning, bro. Right in your face. And you know that she was dead and was dying right in front of your face. I hope he knows a higher power or he has some type of spiritual connection, because how the hell do you come back from that, bro? How the hell do you come back from that when there's nothing you can do?
Black?
Yeah, that's a rough one, bro. That is beyond rough. Yeah, I try not to even think about that anymore. I will say this, though. I think as fans, we need to kind of basically keep in mind that these players are basically entertainers in a sense. It's just a game, and realize that, mistakes are going to happen, and don't get too carried away. And I know I'm older, I can say that, but sometimes I think as a fan, we get too overzealous. We kind of believe, and even like we were saying earlier with the cheeseheads, not seeing the truth about Mr. Rogers. See things for what it is, not for what you want your team to be and bring you enjoyment and excitement. We got to, at some point, see the realistic view of things, even though at the same time enjoy the game.
Yeah. You want to check out our overtime. We usually do an overtime segment on the end of all our shows, the full show, the sports show, and then our NFL picks. We'll have overtime after boxing. Me and Ice have to talk about boxing a little bit later. My last second shot goes, kudos to Cincinnati Reds. I might have to get some Cincinnati Reds gear. I'm definitely getting some Wilberforce gear for hooking up our alma mater, Wilberforce University. It's been 80 years since Wilberforce fielded a baseball team, and now they're going to field one in the year 2002. Got to make some road trips up there to support my alma mater. Wish they had sports when I was there, other than intramural. And man, if we were there and they had this baseball team coming, Ice, I know you and I would be trying to go out there trying to get on third base, second base, somewhere in the infield, or put me in right field. I don't care, as long as I was on the field playing for my alma mater and having that bulldog on my jersey. So kudos to the Cincinnati Reds for doing that. Check out our NFL picks coming up next. Also boxing, we're gonna recap the UFC 268 and also the Canelo and Plant fight from last week. Also, check in with our overtime. Me and Black go back and forth over Colin Kaepernick and the slavery references and all that other stuff. And it's nothing new. We've been arguing since we were kids. So hang in there for the NFL picks next. It is Black Thor, Icewater, and yours truly, Puma. This was one of the stinkiest weeks we've ever had in our picks. But I sent over some of the experts' picks from CBS. I haven't checked out some of the other picks, and we're way ahead of those guys by miles in our picks compared to their picks. So you might want to watch our shows to get our picks, because we're doing better than the so-called experts on these other networks. Let me go to you, Black, first on your summary of the NFL.
They're seriously faking Buffalo Bills. LA Rams. I mean, there's some teams out here I don't really understand. Kansas City Chiefs. There's some teams here you looking at, Cincinnati Bengals. You're looking at them going, what are you guys doing? I don't understand it. I look at them, I just don't. You don't get it. I just don't get it. And I'm not trying to pile on. But the Dallas Cowboys are falling back into what we know the Cowboys to be. Just when you think they're ready to take off, they find a way to show you, not yet. Just not yet. I don't care what Dak missed 20 games, 10 games, whatever. If the man is rusty, you know what? Run the ball, baby. Take the ball out of his hand. You change. It's just like they refuse to make adjustments. There's no way Denver flies into Texas and beat you. That's 16 points. You should take it off the board, bro, because you really didn't earn it. You didn't earn it. You didn't. Don't act like you put 16 points up, but you didn't. But that's what Dallas does. Even the coach is like, I could have took him out there, but I wanted to run a 2-minute drill. Wait, let me get this straight. It's week 8. You get shellacked. Your quarterback is taking some bruising, and you want to run a 2-minute drill to score some points for what, later in the season? Okay, I understand that. I get that. No, I really don't. But that's the Dallas Cowboys.
All right, give me your recap of week 9 in the NFL. It's a week that I want to forget.
Yeah, it was crazy. Stick with that Dallas game. Part of it though too, I remember a couple earlier in the season it was mentioned, oh, you look, y'all about to ready to make a move. Dallas, you a Dallas fan? I was like, nah. I told you. I said until they get to where they need to be at the end of the season, don't bother buying the hype, because that's what happened. Was there's a lot of hype. Now they're regressing. Who knows what's going to happen? It's wide open. I'm gonna say I'm sorry. I gotta say I'm sorry. I'm gonna say sorry to. I'm gonna say I'm sorry to the Cleveland Browns, because damn it, when I got off of them, they came in and got hot. I knew I should have stayed with them. Baker Mayfield said, "Odell who?
Yep.
Really? Odell who? I told you he was the problem." And like, but that whole point was, I'm sitting there watching the game going like, "Damn, Browns, really?" And Puma tried to clown me. He's like, "Let's go Cleveland. I'm making that chant this week." Yeah, Cleveland rocks for damn sure. They rocked last week. New England over Carolina. Wow. I'm sitting there going like, and Black Thor called, he talked about Belichick, and I'm like, he ain't gonna do nothing. I was like, damn, should have picked Cleveland. But anyway, it wasn't so many other things going around. It was an ugly week. What you thought was really happening didn't happen. Just bad. I'm just glad to survive it. It was a train wreck.
I thought I was talking to a buddy of mine who's a big Bears fan, and I thought the officials at Pittsburgh really just jobbed. Part of it was the fault of Chicago. How do you keep lining off sides? I don't understand that. But I'm like, the rest really was, it was obvious that they weren't going to let Pittsburgh lose that game on Monday night with the record they had. And Chicago was the last team they had to beat every team on Monday night. And I was talking to him. He said, "I know you follow the Steelers and all that other stuff, man, but you have to admit, yeah, they cheat a little bit." And I was like, "Yeah, I have to admit." But as Black, you said, a win is a win, baby. We got out of there. Because I thought the kicker had it. It was short, and that was it really was a travesty the way the officials kind of got into that game. But it was partly Chicago's fault too, because they were making too many mistakes. Every time you think Buffalo is going to take the AFC by storm, everybody's picking them to win in the Super Bowl. They've lost against Pittsburgh. I think they've lost against, of course they lost against Jacksonville, but they've lost against some key teams that they need to beat in the AFC, and they just can't get around it. So I don't know what's going on with them. I thought New Orleans would get Atlanta. Cleveland, I just got a sense that they were just going to come out mean and mad. And has anybody picked up OBJ yet?
No, it's not interesting.
So nobody's interested in him.
No, they talking about Green Bay, baby.
Green Bay.
That ain't gonna work.
Whatever.
That ain't gonna work.
It ain't gonna work either. Wherever he goes, it's not gonna work because he's gonna want the ball all the time. And you got to stud up there at Green Bay. You don't need two guys trying to fight over that ball. They were talking about Tampa Bay and coach up there like, yeah, we already got AB. So we already got our problem child receiver. We don't need another one. So I don't know where he's going to go. And it was really kind of interesting to me that people waited until he got on waivers and became off waivers and became a free agent. They didn't want to pay that salary. And if you look at his production since those 2 or 3 years that he was really producing, the production has gone really down. I mean, he was like in the top 5, and now he's like in the lower, almost last as a receiver in the league. So who wants to pay all that money for that? But yeah, I had some close calls. I thought I had some surprises. I thought Philly would take out the Chargers, but the Chargers outlasted them. Kyler Murray didn't even play in San Francisco. San Francisco sucks. Kyler Murray didn't even play, and Arizona just put them away. I was really surprised about the Los Angeles Rams and the Tennessee Titans. I thought the Los Angeles Rams would come out and play. And Deshaun Jackson, maybe you left too soon because they could have used you in that game Sunday night because they weren't letting any of those receivers get any separation. And I know you're faster than a lot of those receivers. But let's go to the results. And so, like I said, the week stunk. But everybody stays in their place. Icewater had a 7-7 record last week. He has an overall record of 91-45. Black Thor had an 8-6 record. He ties with Icewater with a 91-45 record. They're having their love affair at first and second place. Pop had an 8-6 record. He is in third with the 89-47 record. And I had a 77 record last week, and I have a record of 85-51. And all of us are still better than the experts on CBS. I want to make note of that. So our picking order goes with Pop, Black Thor, Puma, and Icewater. We'll pick You see him very happy. So we're going to get right into it. First game on tap is Baltimore versus Miami on Thursday night. Pop is picking Baltimore. Who you got, Black?
Yeah, Baltimore. They was up against it last Sunday, and they find a way to pull it off, bro. I'm going to take Baltimore. As you were saying before, I think this coach is in trouble. He's finally calling out his quarterback. Now I'm like, damn, that's low, bro. Call out your quarterback now after all that you've been supporting him with. Yeah, he's in trouble. Flores is in trouble.
It's the typical playbook because Chicago's coach did that too with the general manager. They called out Trubisky. It's all Trubisky's fault. They got a new quarterback. And so I know Ice and I go back and forth on this, but I'm glad that Fields is playing and getting that experience right now because every week he seems like he's getting better and better and better each week. Even though he doesn't have the talent around him, he's getting better each week. I'm going with Baltimore too. Ice, who you got?
Yeah, calling the bubble gum, man. He always found a way to put something on. He put a little stickiness on it. You like, ain't no way they gonna come back. He can put that bubble gum out, that used bubble gum, and putting it together. That's Lamar Jackson. So easily bought to Baltimore. He finds a way, bro. He is so talented, and the team Baltimore, they thrive off of his energy. You can just tell when he does something, they come alive defensively as well. So Baltimore.
All right, folks. Black is not seeing things. He's watching games on TV in his monitor. Somebody asked me.
Number one, baby. I can afford to.
We're constantly monitoring games when we're looking up. So, no, we're not going crazy and seeing aliens or something like that. Shouts out to Baker Mayfield. Next game on tap is Atlanta at Dallas. Pop is going with Dallas. Black, what you got? You talked about Dallas earlier.
I was very tempted to take Atlanta with this one. I'm just, man. Atlanta had a running game, which they don't have. I would take the Falcons if they had a running game. But being that they don't, I'll take the Cowboys.
All right, I gotta go with the Cowboys too. Even though they lost against Denver, they're at home again. I know that the sports radio stations and the podcasts in Dallas are just reaming the Cowboys right now. Ain't no way they're gonna lose against Atlanta on Sunday. Ice, who you got?
Yeah, they can use the backup quarterback to beat Atlanta. So it's just pretty sad when you come back at it. I don't see them losing 2 weeks in a row. Although Atlanta has, to me, one of the best kickers in football right now. So if it gets close, it might be in for a rude awakening. But no, Cowboys not gonna suck that bad 2 weeks in a row. So Cowboys.
Yeah, that's a message for you behind right there. Like they're not gonna suck that bad this week. Wow.
That's what it is.
Yeah. That's kind of like where they are right now. Buffalo at the New York Jets. Pop is going with Buffalo. Who you got, Black?
Yeah, I don't have much stock to put in Buffalo, but I don't have no stock to put in the Jets. I'll take the Bills.
I'm going with Buffalo also. You can't suck 2 weeks in a row like you did in Jacksonville. So I'm gonna go with Buffalo. Ice, who you got?
No, I mean I can't do the Jets. I took them. I jumped on them a couple of times and they get me real close. And at the end, they break your heart. That's better than a beautiful woman. Break your heart at the very end. Then you got a chance. She go back to her old boyfriend. Anyway.
Ain't that something?
Yeah, it is. But no, with that being said, I'm going to choose Buffalo easy.
All right. Next game on tap is Cleveland at New England. Papa's going with New England. Black, you going with Belichick again?
This is in Cleveland or New England?
This is in New England.
I'm taking Cleveland, man. I'm just taking Cleveland. I think Mayfield is going to be a little, we might be a little woozy with this one with Belichick, but if Cleveland goes to the run game, make it tight, make it ugly, they can win this. I'm going to take the Browns.
Yeah. I'm going with Cleveland too. They're missing one of their running backs. I think Chubb is out this week.
Yeah.
So they're going to have to rely on the other running back. So I got to go with Cleveland too. Cleveland rocks. I'm going with it one more time against New England. I just don't think New England's defense has enough and I think they'll get pounded by that running game for Cleveland if Cleveland commits to the run. Ice?
Well, New England's defense has been playing pretty decent lately, but removing Odell Beckham, I've been saying it forever. I said it even last year, they play better without him. They have something to prove, even with a reserve running back. I think they can get it done. I think they really are fired up. But the one thing that I think is going to happen here, the defense was fired up last week against the Bengals. They coming for Mac Jones, bro. I know everybody's trying to praise him, tell him how great he is, but the Browns defense comes from Mac Jones, and that's going to be the difference in this game. I'm choosing Cleveland.
All right. Papa's the only one picking New England. Next game on tap is Detroit at Pittsburgh. Papa's going with Pittsburgh. Black, who you got?
Wow. Is Detroit still playing? I think they just mailed most of the games in, but I'll take the Steelers. Not that the Steelers are anything special. Realistically, you shouldn't have to fight that hard. I didn't even watch that game real. You should have to fight that hard to beat Chicago Bears, man. I'm sorry. With a rookie quarterback, with a coach that doesn't know what he's doing, is basically a lame duck, and you have to fight to beat them, I'll take the Steelers. But Detroit's going to put hurting on them, though. Let me just say that. They're going to hurt them.
It might be like last week where teams that ain't supposed to win pop up and win by a field goal, something like that. But I ain't picking Detroit. I refuse to pick Detroit.
Can I say this real quick? I want to say this to the NFL. Do us all a favor right now. This holiday season, do not put Detroit on.
No, they're fixture.
Don't put them on.
That's not going to happen.
Don't put them on. Please, I'm begging you.
I would love that, but matter of fact, what I'm going to do Thanksgiving is make me a bunch of food, sit here, eat like a butcher's dog, and laugh my ass off at the Detroit Lions play football. That's all it's good for. It's good for a good laugh and entertainment till you get to the real games later on in the afternoon. But they're a fixture there. I think they agreed to play. They were the first team that agreed to play, and then they've been a fixture ever since. So they're not going to take it. It's a tradition, man.
You got to get rid of that, though, man.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think that's why they started putting other games on. Because Dallas is a fixture and Detroit's a fixture. So it used to be the Washington and Dallas.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I got to go with Pittsburgh. Ice?
Yeah, Pittsburgh has not been very exciting or whatnot, but when I watched that interview with Ben Roethlisberger after the Chicago game, he was straight honest. They said, what do you think about this? You guys are struggling. He's like, it's not pretty, doesn't look good, but we win. when your veteran quarterback that's like 99 years old says that, he said, I'm just glad to be here one more year. So with all that being said, I think they still do what they have to do. Pittsburgh wins that game.
As the elders used to say in the church, I'm glad to be in the number one more time.
Yes, sir.
And by the way, that Thanksgiving game is Chicago versus Detroit.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's going to be entertaining. That's going to be entertaining. Oh, I can't wait. Oh, I'm getting my food ready early to watch that. That's going to be entertaining. Next game on tap is Jacksonville at Indianapolis. Pop picked Indianapolis. Who you got, Black?
Yeah, Indianapolis, man. Not that the quarterback is any good, but Jacksonville won't be lucky 2 weeks in a row. The Colts.
Yeah, I got to go Indianapolis too. Ice, who you got?
Yeah, clean sweep with Indianapolis. Jacksonville has already overachieved this year. So whatever two wins they have, 3, whatever it may be, they've already met their quota, and now they're on the extended play. But I totally don't see Indianapolis laying down. So Indianapolis.
Yeah, I was talking to Black earlier today, and one of the things I was saying that the coaches that are on the hot seat for this year is your boy in Houston, David Cooley, Urban Meyer, Matt Rule, Brian Flores, and Matt Nagy. Those are the top 5 coaches, according to CBS, that are on the hot seat. So we'll take a look at that and monitor that for the year. Next game on tap is New Orleans versus Tennessee. Pop's going with Tennessee. Black, who you got?
Yeah, I'll take Tennessee too, man. They kind of remind me of Baltimore a little bit. They kind of went in ways you're not expecting it, but that defense is finding some adventurous things to do, and it's kind of fueling the offense. I mean, they can kind of hang on for a while, man. Make it to the playoffs. They're gonna be a tough out. I'll take Tennessee though.
All right. Yeah, I got to go with Tennessee too. They got AD back there, got his 125th touchdown. So he'll get acclimated more to the running game. And I think Tennessee will be right back where they should be in that AFC. Ice?
Yeah, New Orleans, they really would like to rely on their defense, but I don't think it's going to matter here. I think the Tennessee defense is going to come after that quarterback. And again, with everybody being out, no Michael Thomas and things of that nature, I think you should start looking at going back to Kamara. Now you got Ingram back too. I would use that as a 1-2 punch, but I don't think that's going to be enough. But I think Tennessee is going to roll and win that game.
Yeah, okay. Next game on tap is Tampa Bay at Washington. At first, Pop said Washington, and he said, whoa, no, Tampa Bay. And so I was thinking that too because of the way Washington played Tampa Bay in the playoffs last year. But I'm like, nah, this is not the same Washington team. So I had to go the other way also. Black, who you got?
You're right about this. Not the same Washington team at all. Tampa Bay is just kind of bugging along a little bit, but they're going to bungle along and win this one. I'll take the Bucks.
All right. Again, I went with Tampa Bay, even though I saw some senior moments last time that Tampa Bay was on the field with Tom Brady, but that was Pop talking, Mr. Brady. That wasn't me. That was Pop talking. All right, so you got?
Every time you come with those senior moments, Tom Brady come back to show you who you calling old, and I think that's what he gonna do. They haven't got him back yet, but it's about time for Gronkowski to get back. They start tuning up a little bit. You might see a AB sighting, A Brown sighting. They started to tune up. They getting those things like I told you last year. They started putting more Bengay on and stuff like that too, and they started gearing for the playoffs. So easily Tampa Bay.
Yeah, that sounds like senior stuff right there, Bengay. Anywho, next game on tap is Carolina at Arizona. Pop is going with Arizona. Black?
Ooh, Arizona. I don't care who they're playing. Who they playing again?
Carolina.
AZ, baby. AZ. I mean, anytime you can roll out a quarterback that's been in the league for 12 years, Cody, what's his name? I'm sorry, man. You know, it's funny because I don't think as a league right now, as fans, we're not respecting the Cardinals like we should, bro.
No.
I don't think we are. I think we're just used to them being a so-so of a team. Cardinals got something going on, bro. That team on both sides of the field, they got something going on. So I'm taking the Cardinals.
Yeah. Going with the Cardinals also. Ice?
Yeah, Carolina lost Sam Darnold. They got the backup quarterback now. So, but one ironic thing. So I'm choosing AZ Cardinals. But what I found ironic though is after all that hoopla and everything, everybody's still mad about them losing to Green Bay. Just kind of ironically, maybe it is real, but ironically, your boy AJ Green now has COVID. Really? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mm. Yeah. Okay. Is that real?
Hey, man,
or is that Memorex? I'm just saying.
Don't even mention his name, man, because I'm in first place right now. Don't even say it secretly.
Yeah.
AJ Green. AJ Green. AJ Green.
I think they gave him a week off. Like, you need to really seriously think about your career in football right now. And you need and here's the playbook.
Well, yes, study the playbook, yes. We better not see you without it.
Next game on tap is Minnesota at the Los Angeles Chargers. Pop goes with the Chargers. I was very, 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 very skeptical about this game with the Chargers. I just don't trust them anymore. Black, who you got?
I don't trust the Vikings, bro. Now you got the running back in the Vikings, fighting with his girlfriend.
TV show on Netflix, like she stole my garage controller. She held us all up by gunpoint, and all this. I'm like, what? This sounds like a TV show. This really happened?
I said it to you earlier, man. I think Zimmer is another name you add to that list. He is underachieved as a coach in the Vikings. Chargers, they got something brewing them. I'm gonna roll with the Chargers, bro. They're looking good.
I'm gonna go with the Chargers too, but I ain't really excited about it. I'm really not excited about it. I haven't been on the Kirk Cousins, good Kirk Cousins, bad Kirk Cousins lately, but man, if he has a good day, this could be another upset. I'm going with the Chargers. Ice?
Yeah, what's ironic is that Minnesota with Cook having issues with the family. Now we hear this stuff about the girlfriend. It's like he's a mess. How can he even think straight from that standpoint? So with that being said, the defense of the Chargers is continuing to improve. and all they need is a little bit, right? They don't have to be spectacular. Herbert is doing just enough. I think they easily beat the Vikings.
All right. So it's the LA Chargers across the board. Next game on tap is Philly at Denver. Pop is going with Denver. Black, who you got?
This one here, wow. If this game was in Philly, I would roll with Philly. I was impressed with them last week. Even though they lost to the Chargers, I was impressed. They find a way to score. They do. But hopefully the Broncos remember what happened to the Cowboys and don't try to get in a shooting match with Philly. Just pound the ball, bro. Pound the rock. Stay with it. I'm going to take the Broncos.
Yeah. I started to take Denver off the win last week, but I like Philly. I like what they were doing. I like how close they got last week. They were still fighting, and so they ain't Dallas. They're going to keep fighting, and I think they'll pull this game out. Ice?
Wow, he's going to Philadelphia.
Yep.
I would love to, but they got to throw the ball to Devontae Smith, right? He got to do that more. But the main thing why I'm going to go with I got to go with the other way is because of the factor that Denver with Teddy Bridgewater found ways to get it done. You know, you have Melvin Gordon over there running his butt off. You got the young guy Williams right behind him. They're like battling one another, trying to get on the field. And the defense kind of rose up last week, especially even though despite the trade of, Von Miller, they rose to the occasion. I think they do just enough to win that game against over a young Philadelphia team. So I'm taking Denver.
All right, so I'm the only one going Philly in that game. Next game on tap is Seattle at Green Bay. Pop is going with Seattle. Screw Aaron Rodgers. Black, what you got?
I mean, that's what I asked this for. Is Russell Wilson playing?
I think he's supposed to be coming back.
Yeah. He been cleared to play. Yes.
Boy, that was some quick healing, wasn't it? I just don't. I mean, how did man go from being on the injury reserve list for 4 to 6 weeks? 2 weeks later, he's back on the. Okay, all right. Anyway, Green Bay.
I'm going with Seattle on this one. I'm going with Seattle because I don't think Aaron Rodgers has been cleared to play either.
I think he's going to be cleared Saturday.
Yeah, if he tests negative. So we don't know if that's happening.
You have a point there.
He ain't got the vaccine, so I don't know what. He's usually about 2 weeks, 2 week period. So we'll see. So I'm going with Seattle.
He'll play Sunday.
Okay.
After paying that little cheap fine, he'll play.
and if I was one of his blockers, I'd do a lookout block on him. You know what a lookout block is? Let my man go and go, look out! Tighten his ass up. Oh, man. Ice, who you got?
Yeah. Aaron Rodgers get some jungle juice, bro. Some of that jungle juice, they're going to give it to him.
Whatever.
He's going to take it, and he's going to play. Plus, too, every time they come after him, he try to get crazy. And granted, even though he was clearly allegedly in the wrong and all that stuff, he didn't say it. I think deep down inside, nobody talks about this, but I was telling somebody, you watch the game, watching that young quarterback try to get it done and was trying to get some things going. They just couldn't hit on the center of things. Aaron Rodgers like, I'm going to show y'all really need me. You want to make this run. And that's selfish as hell, but I'm trying to tell you. It's like, now you're going to come back and try to show you this is why I'm considered one of the best in the league and why y'all need me to make a serious run. I'm worth the money. I'm going with Green Bay.
All right. As my grandmother used to say, it ain't in him. You wouldn't take that run and get them in the playoffs and get them over the hump. It ain't in him. Next game on tap is Kansas City at Las Vegas. Pop is going with Kansas City. Black, who you got?
I would have took Vegas if they beat the Giants last week. I just don't understand them, man. I don't understand that. I'm thinking too that the Ruggs thing kind of took them for a loop last week. I mean, sometimes we forget they're grown men, but there's emotions involved, bro. There's some emotions that had to shock your locker room to an extent. It had to, like Ice explained, earlier, to watch the video and to see that has to have an impact, bro. So I don't think they're going to be right for a little while. With that being said, not that I think they're playing very good football at all, but I'll take the Chiefs with this one.
All right. I'm going to go Las Vegas on this one. I'm going to go Las Vegas on this one because the Chiefs are not impressing me at all, the way they're playing offensively and defensively. And so watching them, it's like they're trying to snap back in the groove and they just can't do it. And you said it earlier, Black, teams have figured the Kansas City Chiefs out. So I think Las Vegas, that they play them twice, they figured them out, and Las Vegas is playing at home. So I think they're going to have a hard time stopping Carr and Walker and Renfro. So I'm going with Las Vegas. Ice?
I think it's too much drama going on. You know, you mentioned about losing Ruggs, being done. Arnett, former Buckeye, they got rid of him. With that standpoint too, I think it's too much drama going on. And I was watching Kansas City last week, and I'm like watching them struggle, watching Mahomes doing what he does. But then all of a sudden, out the blue, when you think they're going to lose, he drops back to pass, and the receivers coming down the field, and everybody's checking everybody, moving around, and he steps back and he just like throws the ball up in the air, like he threw a little paper mache thing up in the air, and it hits the receiver square in his own hands. I was like, man, is this crazy? It's like he just threw a rock up in the air, and then he hit the guy right in the hands. I was like, man, this dude he lucky as hell, or he got some magic. With that being said, they'll find a way to win. I'm going with Kansas City.
Okay. One of the things that I noticed last week is that teams that have a hard time getting the ball down the field, what I noticed, some teams making this adjustment, and I don't know why a lot of teams don't do this very often, especially when other teams play zone, stick that tight end in the middle and just hit the tight end. The tight end, what'd you say, Ice, all time? Tight end's always open.
Yeah, it's been open.
Nobody really guards the tight end.
It's been open since 1987. He's still open.
You know, the problem with Kansas City is that they were so used to coming on the field within 3 minutes of scoring.
Yeah.
They will come on within 2 or 3 minutes. So now, if you slow them down, they're anxious. They don't know what to do. They're trying to kind of like, and it's like Mahomes have to realize you got to just do it methodical. Just go down the field methodical. Remember the coach at OKC used to say that? We're going to matriculate down the field, man. That's what you got to do, bro. Just matriculate it down the field. Every player has to be 30, 40 yards and go for a touchdown.
Dink and dunk.
Take dink and dunk, but move it down the field. Brady has made a career out of that, bro.
Yeah.
A career.
Hank Scram, yeah.
There
Last game on tap is the Los Angeles Rams versus the San Francisco 49ers. Even though San Francisco stinks, they seem to play, these two teams seem to play each other really tough. But Pop picks the Los Angeles Rams. Black, who you got?
Oh, Rams easy with this one, man. I think I said this is another coach you won't put in the list. He may not go this year because they owe him a lot of money, but there's no way this coach is getting it done, bro, for the 49ers, man. He's not getting it done. That team is a shell of itself what they were the past couple of years, bro. I know they have injuries or whatever, but they just can never seem to kind of get it right. At some point, you got to pull Garoppolo and just play the other quarterback, let him get some playing. He's your future. You got to pull him because Garoppolo is one. He's another Kirk Cousins. 1 week he'll look like he can do something. Next week he doesn't even show up. And Garoppolo doesn't care. He has his money. You can look at him and tell. He can care less. But the Rams easy with this one. They'll get back with this one.
Yeah, I'm hoping the Rams come back with this one because I was looking for them to kind of, to me, just basically run the table in the NFL with that defense. And, oh boy didn't play last week. I think Miller didn't play last week. But I'm looking for them to run the table with that defense and that offense. And I said it earlier, they miss Deshaun Jackson. They missed a guy who could just open up the field to get other receivers open. So I think he might have left too soon on that. And Deshaun, I think, was the fastest guy there, to be honest with you. He's the fastest guy there. Ice?
Yeah, the Rams, I watched, they showed Val Miller on the sideline drinking his beverage and studying. He playing this week. Yeah, they're going to be ready, man. They're going to come out like on fire because he was looking around like, okay, all right, yeah, all right. So, yeah, I expect the Rams to just kind of obliterate the 49ers. So we'll move forward with that. Rams all day.
All right. Those are our picks. Couldn't be worse than last week, but hopefully that we won't have a disaster in the NFL like we did last week. So those are our picks. Catch them on Twitter. Catch them on Facebook. We'll see you next week. And we'll keep comparing to CBS and whoever else picks the way we pick. We're still number one. Peace. We're going to recap the Canelo Plant fight. And man, I have to say, Plant, I text you this the night of the fight. It seemed like Plant just ran out of gas, just couldn't give him the business like I thought he would. I saw some Plant fights before that fight, and it seems like he was a very savvy fighter, moves really well, really quick, and it seemed like he was getting the jab off. But Canelo just pretty much figured him out and went to the body, kept going to the body, slowed him down, and then eventually took him down in the 11th round. Your thoughts on the fight, sir?
Yeah, but I mean, I hear all that, and I agree with you, right? I think it kind of worked. It went the way that you just described it, but I think we need to give Caleb Plant some love, man. Because early on, I thought that there might be a chance. What he was trying to do with the box and everything, it sounded good in theory, but the question was, what could he get it done? Could he move around? Could he keep Canelo off balance? And I think he did that for a while. I actually like the first 6, 7 rounds. Yeah, he won a lot of fights. I thought he was very close to winning some of those rounds. So I'm gonna give him a lot of love there. It just so happens at one point you can see where Canelo kind of figured him out and was like, you know what? Maybe I don't think this dude can hurt me. Right? That was the other thing too. So he had the jab, he had the shoulder roll. He looked real good. Plant looked real good early on, but then after a while, it was like you had to make Canelo at that point. You had to make him respect you.
Yeah.
You know, and with those shots, and I'm not sure. He said he had sweet hands. He was hitting him with some shots, but nothing that was devastating that at least caught his attention. And with that being said, I think that's when Canelo was able to go in for the kill. Because you notice when he went back to the corner, and you can hear him, they really weren't worried. I think they thought they were going to wear him down. They were going to take him down out in the later rounds and knock him out. So I think it was kind of working according to plan. And I don't think he had a chance of, he never thought that, oh, this is close. I better try to do something real quick. He never panicked because I think they really believed coming in, they eventually would catch up to Plant like they did.
I want to talk to you also about the scoring of the fight, because you and I was like, you know, that fight wasn't a dominating fight from Canelo, but the way the judges were scoring is like Canelo was winning every round, and I didn't think that was so. It was almost as if Canelo was going to win anyway, whether he knocked him out or by the scoring on the cards of the judges. It's like he couldn't lose this fight.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think because early on, in like I mentioned, the first 4 rounds of the fight, I clearly could see where you could make it. Plant had won 3 of the first 4. And I think the reason why I thought about that early on is because of the volume of punches that Caleb Plant was throwing. And he was landing with volume of punches. They weren't really devastating and hurting Canelo whatsoever, really, but he was throwing more punches and he was landing more. But it appears as if the judges were going off the more dramatic punches, the one that landed that maybe caused more damage or more
the power,
more power, more impactful pipe punches that he was getting love for compared to Plant. But Plant was, like I said, I thought he was looking real good early on the way he was boxing. And I said, that's the way that you can beat Canelo. What Floyd shows you boxing, but you have to provide some type of power punches to make him respect you while you have him. If you can do that, which I'm really excited to see some upcoming fights if he chooses the right opponent. So, but yeah, so I think that's what it was. They were thinking about more power than they were about the number of punches that were being landed.
They're talking about the guys to fight Canelo next is, of course, Jamal Charlo. They're talking about Triple G again. They're talking about Dmitry Bonovo. They're talking about Arthur Beterbiev. And either one of these fighters, what do you think about their chances of beating Canelo?
It'll be interesting to see him watch fight Beterbiev, which is 175, right? This guy's, he's bigger, he's strong, he's a really tough hard puncher. But I think because it's such a challenge to go to 175, people would think it might be a little tougher. But Canelo being the quicker guy, he might be able to get away with that. So I would say Beterbiev just because of the size. Then I got to throw Charlo, because Charlo is the guy, because, you know, they even talked about, was it David Benavidez? Benavidez, but Benavidez has been through a lot of things. But Charlo has the power, he has the size, and he has the quickness to go with Canelo. And I think he can box too. And I think he's probably the right guy. Because I think when the fact that he struggled a couple fights ago, I think it was Charlo, that is, that Canelo said, oh yeah, I see something, I can get him easily. But I think it's probably the best fight that people want to see. Triple G is what, will be 40.
Almost 40, yeah.
Yeah, we don't know if, and then we don't know when the fight is going to take place. So Canelo, the thing about it, being king of the hill, being the top dog, you can sit back and you can choose who you want to choose. And I think Canelo also knows why he mentioned Charlo is because when you start talking about money and people coming out to watch, and the energy and the fans coming out and making an event like Floyd used to do, Charlo definitely do that.
Yeah, that would be the fight. And the before the fight would be a classic kind of, in your face, wanting to get at each other, all this other stuff. But I just felt like Plant just ran out of gas because he was trying to do so much, but really not doing enough to kind of make Canelo respect him, respect that punch or a kind of a knockout punch, or to daze him a little bit to say, you come in, this is what you're going to get. Let's talk about the UFC 268. And I thought Zhang Weili would take out Rose or give her a better fight, but it just didn't happen. And then Covington and Usman. Usman played it smart. He played it smart. They were talking a lot of trash before, but he didn't let that emotion kind of control him in the fight, and control the fight, control the rounds, control the points in the rounds, and came away still champion.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm gonna start with Thug Rose. I thought you said Yang was be able to come in there and go back out there, but Thug Rose was able to she actually changed her style a little bit. Mm-hmm. She adjusted, and that says a lot about her. Early on, she was kind of green to me, a few fights ago, even as last year. But now it's almost she's figuring it out. I'm not sure how far she's going to go with it, but in that particular rematch, she kind of figured it out. So rightfully so, I think she's earned her belt, her place, and maybe she has figured this opponent out. I'd be interested to see what she does the rest of the way, whoever she fights next. But you got to give her up. She came in there and she defended her title and she got it done. So kudos to her on that. But Usman and Covington, it was like one of those things that Usman, man, just shows you how really good he is. Mm. And Covington is like, look, he even said afterwards, I'm a good fighter. I want Masvidal next. That's what he says. But the point of it was, that's how good Usman is to me. Covington is a top-notch guy. He really can beat a lot of people. But when you came in there, he's like, if it would have been anybody else.
Yeah.
that tells you.
Yeah.
Much respect for the guy you're fighting when he says, if it would have been anybody else. And Usman is such a classy customer, bro. He's so smooth, and he just comes in there with his style, and he wait, and then he just does what he does, and he comes with so much vigor and excitement and style that it's like, wow. This dude is one of the best ones. He might be the best thing rolling right now. We haven't seen John Jones in 100 years. This dude's tough. He's classy. He will fight anybody. You say what you want to. Masvidal was running his mouth, shut him down. He's kind of like, who's next?
Yeah, pound for pound, best fighter in MMA. Also, I sent you a tape on Grant Hill's daughter. She's stepping into the MMA realm, and she got some skills. So I would never thought a daughter of Grant Hill would be fighting in MMA. I thought she'd be in basketball or tennis or something like that. But she can scrap. She can scrap a little bit.
Yeah, don't let the smooth tapes fool you. Just because she said, she probably looking at this, I'm not my daddy. I'm not my daddy. So don't look, don't get it twisted. Everybody in here is just, doing jerking hand commercials and all that other stuff. Look, I'm not my daddy.
I want my daddy's record.
Yeah.
All right, upcoming fights, man. You're going to preview of us needing to watch in the next few weeks.
Well, no doubt about it. We can preview a little bit now, but everybody knows what time it is. We are 10 days out. If you're watching this on the 10th, 10 days out from November 20th, Terence Crawford versus Sean Porter. This is going to be a candidate for Fight of the Year. These are two former champions. One guy's a champion now. this is all you want. You got a guy that comes forward in Sean Porter. You got a guy that's an elite boxer and smooth, but with power, and Terence Crawford. You want to see a real boxing match with two guys just going after each other that have a lot of respect for one another and are considered friends. But when they get in that ring, bruh, this is a fight I've been waiting on a long time, because the main thing it does two things. First of all, I've been wanting to see Terence Crawford challenge legitimately at 147. You talked about him wanting to fight Errol Spence and consider himself the king and wants to be pound for pound. This fight allows him to step up in class and show the people what he can do. On the flip side, for Sean Porter, what it does is another opportunity. He wins this fight, he gets another shot at Spence or going to the top, because now he has a belt. So he's been wanting that for a long time. I think Porter's wanting to show the world that he belongs up in the upper echelon with these guys. So both guys have something to gain, and it could be devastating for one that loses, because now it's like you lose, how far do you go down with other people coming up? So definitely something to look forward to. Exciting. Again, November 20th. Catch it any way you can. I promise you will not be disappointed.
There's another fight or exhibition, I won't call it a fight, between a former basketball player and a former football player that we will talk about next week. We won't talk about this week because I don't want to spoil it with all the good stuff that we went on this week. So we'll talk about that next week.
Entertainment.
It's only entertainment. Peace.
And my man said it's only entertainment. You can't take none of this personally.
Later.
You gotta take over this show, man. He ain't got no questions, Ice. What we gonna do?
Hey.
We gotta take it over, baby. For the fans. We gotta take it over. We gotta have a board meeting and take this over, baby.
I admit this, and I was going through it last night. I am biased in some of these stories that are out there in sports, and I'm getting to the point where I'm just fed up with sports.
Right, we need that. See, that's the thing. Why you frustrated with it and you mad about it? We need to hear that, because truthfully, that's to me, that's legit.
And
that's
the
legit.
Privilege and the race norming and all that stuff.
I mean, but
like, why am I even watching this shit?
And I'm good with that. But that's a vital argument. That's a vital perspective that I think is worthwhile talking about. And it's not about, even if I say I may not see it the way you do or disagree or whatever. I mean, it's vital because it's something that is coming from different perspectives. So my point to you is, don't throw in the towel. Shit. Look, just because you mad about, you frustrated with it, don't throw in the towel about the sport, even if you're frustrated. The reason why I say that is because too many people that may be watching or somebody else may feel the same way. So our point of it is, as educated individuals, and a man of your stature, that's educational, but look, don't run shit, don't run to the jungle. I need you in the mix. I watched Malcolm last night. I almost fell asleep. I was one out of Malcolm. They said, Mike Wallace on when he was on 60 Minutes, and he said, they're gonna kill you. Basically, he said, that threats to kill you. And he stopped and he chuckled. He said, "Dude, I'm dead already."
Wow.
He said, "I'm dead already." Yeah.
Let me turn around, man, and look at what that title says. The Goon Squad. What does it stand for? We don't do what the ordinary folks do, bro.
Yeah.
We can't be.
But we read your perspective because of the factor, man, that what we're doing and what we're trying to do is educate people and let them know. We don't always agree, but we also recognize each other's points. So my point of it is, Malcolm knew he was going to die. They told lady, called him on the phone. They called him, "Don't go to the Audubon tonight." And he smiled at the lady when he was walking in the movie. And she said, "Well, baby, don't go." And he's like, "I got to go." So you can't turn back now. We need all that. So be frustrated, be mad, hit your wooden dummy, whatever the hell you got to do. But we need you in the mix is what I'm trying to tell you. So let it out. Like I said, you hold on to the thing like the hook. Let that shit go, bro.
I hear you.
Go back to drinking. You're better when you're drinking.
Stein, I'm drinking for you. Stein.
Come on, man.
Shit, what? Look, you know how crazy it could be? As frustrated I get about certain things, and they think I'm crazy anyway. I could have been left the show about 20 years ago. When we still here. Sting!
All right, thanks for talking me off the ledge, fella.
Shit. Look, I got you some real work to do at the end of the year. You can't be running. Shit, where you going? You got me doing all this extra stuff. And you talking
running
about,
nowhere.
Well, I did. What you talking about? You got me. We doing stuff on Monday, all this stuff. Shit. Yeah. Hey, if I'm doing it, damn it, guess what? You doing it.
Did you hear the story about Cook and his ex? And it sounded like a TV show, man. She came in wheeling the gun and held them all up and got in with I guess a garage door opener that she stole that fit his garage door. I'm like, it sounds like a TV show.
It's sad because these young cats got a lot of money. And they, based on that, they make some decisions that, you and I made them too, but we didn't have them. We didn't have all that money. Yes, we have the money, plus we have social media or the news. Yes, and they don't realize you got to be that much more careful and shrewd with your business because you can't be dating these chicken heads that are going to show up and do something like that, bro. But like you said in your book, the crazy ones. We know what I'm talking about. Come on, bro. They're crazy, bat crazy.
Yeah, they're good for a night or two, but you gotta give them up after that. You can't.
Yes, because now the NFL probably gonna set you aside.
You being mild about the set you aside.
Yeah, they're gonna set you aside. But realistically, I mean, look at Watson. I don't care what stories you put out there about Watson. I don't care. This team orphaned. Nobody. NFL ain't letting Watson go. Watson ain't go. I'm telling you, that brother be lucky. They offer him a deal. I don't know what the deal was. The lawyer offered him a deal. He turned it down. Huh? Bro, I'm no lawyer. I'm just going to say this. You need to get a deal with them where they can't say,
yeah,
go away. NFL at that point could say, you know what? FBI, they dropped this.
Yeah, disclosure agreement and say, okay, non-disclosure. Here's your money. Goodbye.
Thank you. Next year, you got a shot. You got a shot next year. You do do the circuit. Yeah, I made some mistakes. You know how it is. You come back. You turn it down?
Or you might have said, I misled some people. You lied.
Aaron Rodgers is, oh my goodness, man. If that ain't a son of a gun, I mean.
Privilege, perfect example of privilege. When he made statements about Martin Luther King.
Yes.
I wanted to go and punch him wherever he was sitting, just go punch him right in the mouth. You don't do that.
Are you taking a shot that you can take or can't take, and you want to relate that to a civil rights movement leader? I'm sorry. I don't, and that's what I'm saying to you, man. And I think I sent the text to you. I don't even want to see this stuff about Kaepernick, bro. I'll watch his show, but I can't hear Kaepernick talk about slavery. And I don't even think that's Kaepernick, bro. And we all talked about this before, how they treat you. Don't get me wrong. But you can't make the money that you made in football and equate what you went through and talk about slavery, bro. I understand
Ice told me.
$1 million slave.
That's what Ice told me.
I get it, bro. I get it. But I'm sorry. On an intellectual point, let's say Kaepernick made 40, 50 million playing football. Bro, that's slavery?
No. I think what people are getting caught up on is that he's trying to, it's like it's the same. The principles are similar. It's not the same. Folks,
bro, we know that though. But,
yeah.
Okay.
I think that's what I got out of it. That
let me ask you a question.
Okay,
let me ask you a question. We know that. That we know. We talked about that here. Let me ask you a question. How many white slaves were there in the past? Zero, right? How many white people go through the same thing, bro, to get to the NFL?
Well, yeah, you're talking about 80, 20% percentage.
But they're there. They're there. They're there. I mean, they're there. Now, does it have some racial overtones? Yes, bro. But you can't compare it to slavery. Yes, they checked this on you. They checked. I got you. Colin Kaepernick, last time I checked, man, they didn't go to Africa and drag you on a boat, bro.
But here's where I think people gets kind of screwed up. Comparing is comparing. It's not saying that it's the same as. It's a comparison.
I don't even see the comparison.
I can see the comparison with, because I've always talked about it. The NFL being a plantation, they take from you, they do what they do to you, and then they just throw you on a heap.
Your job is a plantation, bro.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same principle.
But, I mean, but let's get real.
The way these guys are treated in the combine.
If you work for an employer, what's the difference of a plantation? They don't feed you? I mean, I'm just being honest. We all work for somebody if we're not an entrepreneur.
Yeah, they call themselves owners. You are
CEOs.
You are their property.
CEOs.
I'm not the property of who I work for.
That's the rule. Hey man, that's the rules of the league. Granted, I understand that. But you got a right not to be part of it.
You ain't got no rights when you're there.
Yes, you do. You ain't got to play football.
Yeah, if you don't. But how much money? How will they make that much money doing?
Let me ask you a question.
They've been groomed to play for years.
I'm gonna leave it with this question, bro. All three of us want to be on that plantation of somebody's, right?
I thought about it when I was younger, but not now.
Thank you.
No, not now.
All right, I'll leave it.
Not now. When we were kids, we were conditioned. Yeah,
that's my point. If you had a chance at 21 when you weren't a kid, if the Jacksonville Jaguars came to you and said, "Hey, Puma, I'm gonna give you X amount of dollars,"
you better pick another team.
No. Pittsburgh Steelers. And I want you to come on this plantation and run after a square football.
Yeah, because we're younger. We didn't know what it entailed. We're trying to get there.
Bro, I don't get me wrong. You can take most situations and kind of link it to something that you don't like. I get that. To say they're owners, yes, I get that. But bro, when they ain't feeding you chicken gizzards and making you make stuff out to eat, you can't, bro. When they ain't slashing you, when they ain't whipping you with a whip because you dropped the football, you can't. You can't. I mean, I can go down the list. When they ain't having sex with your wife and, basically taking your kids and shipping you can't. Those are atrocities, my brother. Well, I'm serious.
We're going to have to disagree on this one because I can see the comparisons.
Because you want to. I mean, I'm not saying there. How you gonna? Wait, hang on a second now. You're gonna compare. What's his name? Jerry Jones to a slave owner.
Yep.
Okay, I'll leave it there.
He's an owner. He decides who's gonna pick up. Oh, you got a Stein. You got a Stein.
I want to thank y'all for entertaining me. So I'm gonna give me a drink.
Master Jones gets to choose who's gonna be on this plantation and who he's gonna do health care for after they play.
I want to thank y'all for entertainment. So I'm drinking.